welcome back to Let's Play the Capo 2. So in the previous recording, what happened in the previous recording again? I remember the previous part, but that wasn't the full recording session. So there was, yeah, now I remember. The whole being woken up by Nanak and they just like having fun times and all that. And completely forgetting all about the issue with the band. Until recently, but now I'm guessing it's gonna go into one of those scenes. Let's see if I was right. I kissed her. Then I moved on to the next step. Called it! Freaking called it. Just like, remember when they first kissed her? He's like, wow, that escalated quickly. Now they're gonna get it on. Well, you're gonna get it off. Not just the clothes, but I mean off screen. Because YouTube be like, oh hell no. Off screen. Unless there's some plot within there. You never know, man. Rambo friggin' shuffle. That's just ridiculous when they do that. Well, anyway. And scene. Well, that was an awkward way to end the scene. I walked together with Nanaka, she was moving a little awkwardly. Oh, that's understandable. Dude, you didn't last long from that. I mean, I know I was skipping through it, but once they actually got around to it, it didn't seem like it went on for very long. Well, you know, to sum up any of those type of scenes, the dialogue is pretty much always the same. Just like, why, it's just, ooh, yes, no, ooh, ting tang, bing bang, boom, You know, just moans and all that shit. It's just like, why? It's just awkward. Why do they do this with visual novels? I mean, can't they, like, if you're gonna, like, make it, like, story-wise, why have that scene that feels out of place every single time? We joked around for a little while after we came. Oh, jokes. But at last Nanaka said she had to go home. It was about 9 p.m. Her parents would be worried about her. I didn't want to let her go, but I didn't have any choice. We had school tomorrow too. I decided I would at least walk her home. Are you okay? Yeah, I forgot to adjust the audio. Because you know how they are when it comes to those scenes, they're freaking loud as shit, man. Just like, Jesus Christ. Overkill. She smiled bashfully. I smiled back at her. My heart was a swirling tide of happiness and shyness. We were holding hands just like always, but it felt different than it had this afternoon. I could see the light of her house a little ways beyond. Okay. Seriously, that escalated quickly, didn't it? Just like, the previous part they had their first kiss, then the second kiss, and then they got laid. Just like, wait, what? We stared at each other silently for a while. Eventually we drew closer, and kissed goodnight. Yeah, good night. But when's the drama really gonna kick in? It feels like the drama got kicked to the curb a long time ago. She stumbled as she tried to walk up the path. I think you broke her. Oh, ow. I watched to make sure she got inside safely. I did it. Meanwhile, Wataru glares from a distance. I made a little victory pose. The reality of what we had just done was finally sinking in. I had been too distracted to really think about it at the time. Oh man, I just realized, I don't think he used protection, man. You know, this is the problem with teenagers. They're always just like, oh, horny, let's freaking just go with it. They don't think at the time, it's like, you know, if you're gonna do that, maybe you should get protection or some shit. Nope! Teenage pregnancies all over the place. Just like, fucking idiots. I had sex with Nanaka. That was such an awkward line for me to say. Yes! I get it. I was in for another sleepless night for sure. No, you're totally spent now. You'll probably fall asleep. Ha 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 ha. Ow. Ah, so cold, so warm.
何それ
Imagine if one of them showed up.
朝から意味不明ですよ
You think so? I couldn't help it. It was totally a joke I was gonna make after that scene. Like during that scene I was like, I've got a joke for this. But I can't remember what it was. I don't know. I couldn't stop smiling like an idiot. I hadn't had enough sleep, but I was still feeling so hyper. It was all because of last night. Dude, you didn't need to put a flashback there. Now I gotta edit some more, you little asshole. That's what happened last night. I had sex with Nanaka for the first time. I felt hot all over just thinking about it. Now this guy thinks nothing of the whole band situation at all. It's no wonder nothing's getting resolved. And you know what? I've noticed with the protagonist, he's nice. Yes, he's a nice person to girls. To guys, he's a bit of an asshole. Let's just be honest here. He's nice to girls, but if it's a guy, he's kind of a dick, pretty much. What? Not there was watching me with a knowing smile.
そっかそっか
Wait, really now? Because I don't think you realize exactly. What is it?
白川さんといろいろ発展したのかな
A bit more than you are thinking, I imagine. Otne was teasing me. She was so sharp. Was I being that obvious? I'm guessing she suspects. She's like, oh, you've kissed now or something. Rather than, oh, you had sex? Wait, you did what? I thought Otne didn't really like to talk about these things.
発展って何ですか発展は発展よ好きな者同士の発展って言ったら
Yeah, but you took it way more stages too fast. Without a thought in the world.
そんなことお姉ちゃんの口から言わせないでよ
Ouch, why are you smacking at me?
はあもう弟くんのエッチ
Thought he was being shot by a firing squad. What? But I didn't even say anything. Yume was turning into a vengeful god. But what did she have to be vengeful about? She needed to learn how to let things go.
兄さんの不潔不潔
Watch it, I don't care if you think I'm disgusting. What Nanaka and I do is our own business.
不潔不純不毛責任
What? Hey, I'm not a pig, and leave my private parts out of this.
とにかく兄さんはけだものです
Hey.
けだものさんと付き合ってるんだ私
What? A merry voice rang out behind me.
おはよ
It was Nanaka. She peered at me shyly. Morning. We both turned red and went rigid. It's gonna be even more awkward from now on, isn't it? It was so embarrassing seeing her again in the daylight. I didn't know what to say.
まあ私たちはお邪魔みたいだから先に行きましょうかそうしましょうもう兄さんなんか知らないんだから
Notone dragged the fuming Yume with her and headed off for school.
なんだかゆめちゃん機嫌悪いね
You know, it's just a kind of theory, but I think she doesn't like you very much. Don't worry, it's nothing new. By the way, how were things after I left? I was really asking two questions. The first was, well, she got in trouble for coming home late. The second was, well, she was okay physically. Just like, it was my first time too, after all. I might have hurt her without meaning to. Also, Yoshyuki, Once again, you are an absolute freaking dumbass, and you still haven't realized you didn't use protection. At least I'm pretty sure you didn't. I wasn't really paying attention, to be fair. Didn't want to put her in any unnecessary pain.
大丈夫。
Her face was red with embarrassment. I guess she was fine physically. It looked like she didn't get in too much trouble either. What a relief! Shall we go now? Seriously, at this point it feels like the band has been completely ditched entirely. I mean, seriously, I know they addressed in the previous part, but then they just had 60-time high five and then they just kind of forgot about it again. Just like, I'm gonna fuck your brains out! Literally, you'll forget everything. Ah, that's terrible. She remained at my side as we walked. We weren't holding hands because there were lots of fellow students around us. But it was nice to have her smile so close to mine. You know, seriously though, why do they have those scenes that just makes the whole thing afterwards just seem really awkward?
吉行くん。
Awkward! It was the Three Musketeers. Good morning.
おはよう。おはよう。おはよう。ココ、おはよう。おはよう。
There was an awkward air between Coco and Nanaka. They barely seemed like friends at all. What was going on? If I had papers around me, I'd fling them in the air. Seriously, I can understand why Wataru wants to smack you.
私、用事思い出したから先に行くね。
You insensitive fool! You've got Nanaka on the brains. You're like so blinded by love that anything outside of it you don't even pay attention to, you fool. Coco waved at Akane and Anzu and started running off.
子供ね。あんずちゃん厳しすぎ。仕方ないと思うよ。
Akane and Anzu also walked away as they continued their conversation. I felt a little like they were ditching us.
行こう。
Sure. Nanaka forced herself to smile. I wondered if something happened between her and Coco. I wonder if this guy ever thinks of anything but Nanaka. Coco had been acting strangely, just like Wataru. And for some reason, I'm too dumb to figure it out, guys. Seriously, this guy's driving me nuts with this, man. When's he gonna realize it? And if this whole route ends with him not realizing it, I'm gonna bang my head against the freaking laptop. Nanaka was walking a few steps ahead of me, but even her posture read sorrow.
あの板橋が学校を休むなんてな。雷でも落ちるんじゃないか？
No, hell freezes over when Yoshyuki becomes less dense and, actually notices what's going on. I agreed with him. Wataru was the healthiest guy I knew. Why wasn't he coming to school? He must have called it... Wait, what? Called it in late. Do you mean called in late because we didn't find one about it until third period? However, part of me felt relieved. Tsukunami, can you, smack him in the face and knock some sense into him? If he was still angry at me, I would have had to try to have a talk with him. It's like, I'd have to actually try to see why he's mad. But he wasn't here, so I'm like, whew, dodged another one. That let me off the hook. At least I didn't have to deal with him scowling at me. I felt a lot calmer all day.
渡る？どうせ仮病でしょ。
Seriously, this is our protagonist, man. He's becoming unlikable to me at this point. At first, yeah, he's alright, protagonist, I suppose, typical protagonist. But the way he's just ignoring the whole situation pisses me off. Anzu was talking with Akane and Coco. I couldn't see Coco's face because she was turned away from me. Was she smiling or was she?
ココちゃんが何かきついこと渡るくんに言ったんでしょ。私は何も言ってないよ。どうかな、怪しいな。
Nakane and Anzu were laughing, but Coco wasn't. They all went out into the hallway. I guess they were going to eat lunch out in the courtyard or something. Anyway, why would Wataru skip school? And what did it have to do with Coco?
で、どうする？
Now, I'll be with you on that one. I don't know why he skipped school exactly, so I'm also unsure about that. What?
昼飯だよ。どっか食べに行くか？
Oh, the next moment I heard a familiar bright voice in the classroom.
Yoshyuki-kun!
Nanaka waved her hand at me with a smile.
なるほど。では、邪魔者はさっさと退散することにしよう。
I'm sorry.
いやいや。
With Sugnami's urging, I walked into the hallway where Nanaka was waiting for me. It had been a while since I'd eaten in the cafeteria.
本当にごめんね。
I told you it's fine. Nanaka told me that she was planning to make lunch this morning, but she overslept. That's why she was apologizing to me. She seemed to feel pretty bad about it. I guess last night really wore you out. My teasing comment caused Nanaka to blush all the way to her ears.
もう、Yoshyuki-kunったら。
Anyway, what should we eat?
うん。
Nanaka held my hand and took a look at the menu. What should I get? I feel like I should regain some stamina, so maybe I'll eat katsudon today. Seems pretty crowded in here today. Maybe the Monday Blahs meant fewer people who wanted to prepare lunch boxes. Wait, Monday Blahs? What? The entire place was packed with students.
私買ってくるから、Yoshyuki-kun席を確保しててよ。
Sure, but are you okay?
任せて。
She flashed a peace sign. I walked around and saw that the tables towards the back were mostly empty. I found a table for two and sat down. Oops, I forgot to tell her that I wanted katsudon. Oh well, I didn't mind as long as I could eat. Nanaka found me after a while.
はーい、お待ちどうさま。
Oh, thanks, huh? Nanaka was carrying a tray with an order of katsudon and miso soup. It had an extra large portion too. How did you know?
ん
I was thinking about ordering katsudon.
なんでわかったんだろうね。
She smiled and took her seat. Nanaka's lunch was onigiri and soba. Thank you, Nanaka.
じゃあ、いただきます。
Yeah, let's eat. I took a bite of deep fried pork. Delicious. I've been wondering.
ん
She looked at me while slurping her noodles. Why do you always know what I'm thinking?
偶然だよ。
But it seems like it happens so often. It was true Nanaka always seemed able to guess precisely what I was thinking. It was happening so much lately that it was starting to seem odd.
ここだけの話だよ。
Nanaka pulled her seat close to mine while talking in a low whisper. She was so close I could feel her breath against my lips.
実は私、超能力者なんだ。人の考えてること、わかるの。
With that, she went back to her soba. That was probably just a joke. Well, considering how we have a freaking robot attending this school, I wouldn't be surprised. It's like Shuffle all over again. You got some odd set of characters. It's just like, what? Have human characters? Fuck that. Let's add in some different characters. Like a robot. And, how about a homunculus? And, magic users. An Esper and now just, yeah. Just like, yeah, throw in random types. That's generally the idea that I think they went with. I mean, obviously. But wait, Naka's intuition was right just as often as Yume's. But it was more than just intuition. She seemed to generally be able to read my mind. At least, that's what it seemed like.
本気にした？
You ever have that kind of of thing where you're just like, you're in a room with someone and you're thinking and you're just like, can this person read my mind? You just like look at them, just like see if they're like showing any facial expression that indicates that. You're just like, yes, I heard that. It's like, oh shit, he can read my mind. What? No way.
なんちゃってだよ
Until she confessed that it was just a prank, I was almost ready to believe her. But what a silly thought. What was I thinking? Nanaka and I went to visit Yoshyuki after school. Seeing her cheerful smile always set my mind at ease.
兄ちゃん次はこのご飯読んで
She handed me a picture book. Sure, huh? The Cherry Blossom Princess. I never heard this story. I flipped through the pages looking at the cute pastel illustration.
それこの島に伝わるお話だよ
You know, I saw comments recently on a part of the Shuffle LP that references referencing the reference to this game that Shuffle gave that I didn't understand because I'd never played this before. So now I kind of understand it. Oh, really?
兄ちゃんこの島の人なのに知らなかったのか
No wonder why they have like a similar kind of feel to them. It's not the same company, I think, but it's got similar kind of characters in a way. No, I don't think so.
しょうがないなしょうがないな
They both laughed at me. I had no idea there was a legendary story about this island.
よく知ってるでしょ枯れない桜の話だよ
What? Oh, yeah. There was a girl who stood in front of the everlasting cherry tree every day she visited and cried. Isn't that a wonderful beginning? Now this picture book makes sense. It was a story about the everlasting cherry tree.
ずいぶん前にねこの島の誰かがこのお話を作ったらしくて
It's everlasting because it feeds on the tears of broken hearts.
そうしたら島の人たちが本にしないかってこの島には民話も何もなかったからね島おこしってわけじゃないんだけどせっかく全国にも珍しい枯れない桜のお話だからってそのまま島の童話になっちゃったんだよ
It hasn't quite reached out of the country yet, though. I see.
兄ちゃん早く読んで
Oh, sure. Story time! There was a girl who stood in front of the everlasting cherry tree. Every day she visited it and cried. Why are you crying? The everlasting cherry tree asked for her. There's a boy at school who teases me. The everlasting cherry tree smiled and patted her head with its branch. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? The next day, the boy that used to tease the girl was gone. No one teased the girl anymore. You know what this makes me think? It's like, and the boy was suddenly gone. Just like, the tree, suspicious man. The tree did him in. But a few years later, the girl came to stand in front of the everlasting cherry tree again. Every day she visited and cried. Why are you crying? The everlasting cherry tree asked her. Soon I'm being separated from the man I love. I am afraid that he's going to forget about me. The everlasting cherry tree smiled and sprinkled its petals across the island. After several years, the girl's love returned to the island. He hadn't forgotten about her. However, he was in love with someone else, just like, I can't give you like all happiness now, can I? The girl cried in front of the everlasting tree again. She cried and cried every single day, you know, because it feeds on tears. Not really, but it might as well. Why doesn't he want me? Why doesn't he love me? The everlasting cherry tree took a deep breath. A deep breath! It's a freaking tree! He's like, oh, this freaking woman just coming back and forth all these years about her damn problems. I can't solve everything about fucking tree. And sprinkled its flower petals all over the island. The next day, her beloved's new lover was gone. Just like, nobody suspects the tree. Then the girl realized something. The everlasting cherry tree was granting her wishes. It was an awful thing to realize. The girl stood in front of the everlasting cherry tree again. What do you want next? The everlasting cherry tree asked her gently. I want you to die. I want you to die and bring back the people that disappeared. The girl realized that she had done what she had done and begged the tree to undo her mistakes. The everlasting cherry tree sighed and shook its branches sadly. Before long, the everlasting cherry tree faded and its branches withered to nothing. What, you agreed with that? He was like, I'm a genie. I can't freaking say no or something, I don't know. The girl stopped moving too. It was not the tree that died, but rather the girl. The girl was the cherry blossom tree. The story is kinda ridiculous. That's spooky.
そうかな
Well, you've got a tree that makes two people vanish, makes one person show up again, then gets rid of that person that was with that person, and then when that person goes up the tree and says, die, then it's the girl that dies, and the cherry blossoms just freaking... The tree essentially dies. And it turns out to be her. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's freaky the girl was a cherry blossom tree. It's like, I don't even know if she was the tree from the beginning or if she became it somewhere along the line. It just creeps me out. What? Is it really that deep a story? Really? It seemed a little philosophical for a children's story. More than anything, it gave me the creeps. What happened to those who disappeared? That's the same question as like asking, which version of it was it? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory? Which one had it where they didn't show what happened to the kids after everything was said and done, so you just assumed it's like that one fat kid that got stuck and just like, did he die? The other one's just like, did they die as well? Did the problem get resolved or what? What were the people on this island thinking about when they published this? Yuzu-chan.
看護師さんだ逃げろ
Hey, don't let her get out. Don't let her get away. Nanaka and I held Yuzu-chan so she wouldn't run away.
離せ
Thank you very much. No problem.
逃げちゃダメだよゆずちゃん
It's like, you traitors. You ran away early and we couldn't even do our afternoon checkup.
だって逃げないと嫌なことされるからな
We won't hurt you, we just want to make sure that you're okay.
うー
Yuzu-chan struggled for a little while, but finally relented and went back to bed. We'll wait outside the room, okay?
ちゃんと診察受けるんだよ
Yuzu-chan just grumbled. Huh?
ああいう風に診察を嫌がるところは子供だなって思って
I agree. Oops, I brought the book out with me. I decided to give it an all read. It still creeped me out.
でも本当のことだよ
It is?
うんっていうか枯れない桜の言い伝え
What, that it grants wishes or what?
願いを叶えてくれるって
Well, yeah, I was right. Oh, I've heard that before. But who would actually go out and pray to a cherry blossom tree?
そっかな意外にいるかもよ女の
I see. I guess I couldn't deny that.
あれナナカちゃんにヨシユキくん